In this video, you will learn how to configure inbound email and email queuing for Engage. This will allow you to route external emails to the proper place, establish email templates that can be utilized by agents, and set up proper routing for last agent email, which helps in providing efficient email responses for emails that have been left by an assigned agent for too long. First, let's cover email routing. In the admin portal, navigate to Configure, Inbound Email, Email Routing. Here you will find two available drop-downs to sort routing rules per queue and per template. We will cover templates shortly. Use the default queue drop-down menu at the top to select an available email queue to serve as the default queue. Since email addresses and queues may have one-to-many relationship, a default queue must be defined to prevent any loss of emails. In the queue dropdown, you will notice that only email queues are available for selection. This will display any routing rules for that queue that are currently in place. As seen here, there are no current rules. To add a rule, click on Add to the right side of the window. On the New Rule pop-up, you will find the following fields. Source. Select one of the mailboxes that were set up by a system administrator on your account when it was created. Search type. In this dropdown, select from the following options. Subject line contains, subject line does not contain, body message contains, and body message does not contain. Keywords. Enter the keywords that would pertain to your previous selection. Destination queue. Choose the queue from the list that the rule is going to guide the email to. Only email queues will be available in this list. Message priority. Although your email queue can have its own priority, rules can add a different priority to emails that fall under this rule. Auto reply template. Select any template, to be covered later, that you would like to apply to this rule, if any. Clicking the Enable checkbox will make this rule active. Click OK when complete. Be aware that if you wish to add the same keyword to multiple search types, for instance subject line and body, two separate rules will need to be created. Notice now that the rule is created. Rule is enabled is checked. At any time you would like to disable this rule, it can be unchecked here, and vice versa. Rules can also be altered from this page by changing drop-downs, adding keywords, separated by a comma, and even deleting the rule altogether. Ensure that you select Update at the top of the page when making changes and continue to add rules as needed by following the same process. Next, we will talk about email templates. Email templates are a great way to cut interaction time for your agents. Email templates are created so that your agents can select a template from an email interaction so that they are not forced to type a lengthy reply for every interaction. You can create a template with placeholder areas that an agent can simply add info to the email that pertains to themselves and the current interaction and click Send. For example, a simple email template could be something like, to create a template, first select the type of template that you would like to create from the drop-down options. Content, the body of the email. Signature, an auto-signature for an email reply. Auto-reply on email accepted. An auto-reply message when the system receives the email. For the template example that was previously given, you would select Content, as this is an example of the agent being able to pre-populate an email body for response to the client. Next, create whatever message you need in a word processing program such as Microsoft Word or an HTML editor like Notepad. Save your document to your computer, and then select Add Template from the top of the page. In the pop-up window, select a name for the template. Knowing that there could be multiple templates for your agents to select from, be very concise in the naming language to allow your agents to easily identify the needed template. A name such as For Billing may not be as useful as something like Reply for Completed Billing Interaction. Select the format of your document from the drop-down and then select Choose File to search for your file and upload it to Engage. Click OK when complete. Once your file is on the list, you now have the ability to both view and delete the file. By clicking Assign, you can select which teams or even queues that you would like to make this template available for. There are also buttons available to quickly activate or deactivate the template for all teams or queues. To avoid an overload of options for your agents, it would be best practice to be selective of which template you assign. For example, it may not be in your best interest to assign a body for billing emails template to the sales team. Finally, we will now cover last agent email routing. As stated earlier, this feature helps to ensure that emails are getting the attention that is expected. For instance, an agent is assigned an email, but they have a family emergency that takes them away from work for a week. You would not want your customer to feel the effects of their absence. Using last agent email routing will allow you to set a time limit on the inactive email and assign it to someone else. Begin by enabling last agent email routing by selecting the checkbox. On the next line, enter the number of days that you would like to remove the agent from the assignment. Next, reroute the email either to the last known queue or any email queue from the drop-down list. For last agent email routing, you may even consider creating an email queue dedicated to this purpose. After X amount of days, will most likely match the number of days that you assigned for disassociation. You should now know how to configure the email settings for Engage in the admin portal to include email routing and creating templates. Thanks for watching.
Orchestrating a Brighter World, NEC.